Well, hello again, Porch, the spiritual church home for us. I am a real, true life reverend, and my name is Lainey. I run around here on the porch, excuse me, as Red Dirt Preacher. I don't want to wear the title of prophet too loud. I don't want to wear the title of anything too damn loud. Titles really have done nothing. Titles have never done me any good, and titles have never done anybody have met any good because. People like to put titles before character, and I say that character speaks louder than titles, amen. And titles don't do anything besides just kind of pigeonhole people. Titles be damned. So, moving on. I have no idea where this message is going to go. This is going to end up like one of those wild, arrows that I point, and I have no idea. Watch your houses. This could land on your car. I'm going to throw a message out here, and I have no idea where it's going to land, but on your ears, so... I actually don't even know I don't know. I call it a telepathy kiss. I get a little kiss from the Lord. You ever get kissed right here on your forehead? It feels amazing. And real true love does that. Don't let nobody lie to you. So I feel like I get kissed on the forehead, and sometimes I get the whole thing and I could come to you, or I get half the thing and I got to go ahead and talk while the casserole's still baking in my psyche. And right now that's the case. So I feel like I'm going to get on a saddle here that's a little bit bigger than my arse to ride, but in the name of the Lord, let's ride. I've been, this is something we've all heard, and I had an epiphany sitting here with the Lord, so must I bring it to you? Yes, that's my job. I've heard people say, why do children have cancer? And, I've heard those of naysayers of the Spirit of God and God is love, say that how can there be a God if he allows the Holocaust to happen? How can there be a God he allowed this to happen to me? How can I believe in a God that allows XYZ to happen? And usually XYZ are all these negative, horrible, bad things, these marks in history. And to that I say, well, this is the same God that allowed his own son to die on a cross on his underwear in front of his mother while people mocked him for not being the Son of God. Get yourself down from there. Aren't you special? Come on, boy. Come on. What is that? What is that? You ever been laughed at by your own family while they're kicking you out the house, telling you to stand up, I have in my own way, in my own form, so I can have empathy with Jesus on that one. So when people ask, generally, they ask the universe, and usually they ask Christians who can't answer the question, and as a conscious Christian, it's very easy. Why did God allow this to happen and that to happen in the Holocaust, and why does God allow children to have cancer? Have you ever been around that? It's absolutely horrible, horrible. Were you there at the crucifixion? It was absolutely horrible, horrible. But there was a great cause for that. Hello, you and me. All the charges were dropped. Thank God for that. And thank God for God, and thank God for Jesus, and thank God for that really bad day. Thank God for that really shitty moment, because it brought so much for everything after, right? So always know that. It's really not that God allows, He's got to allow alchemy to happen, and we're dumbasses. That's not God's fault. That's our fault. And since we are dumbasses, we have to learn through a very rudimentary lesson, through rudimentary languages, the rudimentary language of ow, pain that hurts, and love, yes, it feels good. And really, as humans, we like to be evolved and consciously evolved and emotionally have IQs and have higher mindful intellectual IQs. We still can't get off the racial river, so we're pretty ignorant. And we still can't learn from our own God source anything else and different than betrayal and pain and love and gain. We only speak one language, so we only allow God to come at us one way anyway, and that's through pain. We only move when our own ankles hurt, and narcissists really don't move unless their own ankle hurts. So you're not getting the world to get off their arse or move towards the Lord, or move towards anything in action. Getting off of their complacency couches. You're not going to get anybody to do that. They're fine where they are. And human nature's like that. We tend to stick and stay and not want to grow because that's easy. We take the easy path. And nowhere in the book did it say this is going to be easy, because God talks us through pain. Not because that's who he is. That's because who we are. We're the dumbasses here. We're the ones that still are living on this language of pain, reaction, pain, reaction. And that's how we have these high tides and low tides with God. And in seasons we're really tight with God, and other seasons in our life we're really aloof and really far away from him. We do this, not him. He's the constant mainstay. He's the lighthouse. We're the one that leaves the shore, comes crashing back. That's us. So if someone's playing that reflection in your life, don't be hating on them. Hate the reflection you're giving yourself. Don't be a person like that, right? So there's an answer to those that want to say, why did God allow this to happen? Well, because he had a great plan after that. And he's not really the one that allowed it to happen. It was a great act of love. You're the one that speaks dumbass. God had to speak dumbass. Don't get mad at him. Don't hate the messenger. So once he gets through to us, through pain, through the dumbass language we speak, then we turn around and go, well, how come you're only talking to me through pain? Well, that is the only way that you guys listen, move, inspire each other, make real changes. Hello? Look at the world you're living in now. Nobody did anything about this. And even now, at the times that we're in with this tyranny and COVID and this fighting and dividing lines, and not only in America, but they're all over the world, prophesied by me and Jesus and many of others. But if you'd like to know, I did prophesy that, and that's on YouTube, 175 videos of that happening, lots of truth. So, God already spoke about the fissures and cracks that he was going to create. That was back in the summer of 2019. He spoke about that to me personally. And to see it in massive fruition now. So why are we going through this pain now and these separations? How come we all can't just get along? Well, we're dumbasses. And we're not going to do anything about nothing. We're not going to make any real changes unless we're hurting. Unless that's what's motivating us, is to get out of pain, get through pain. So a lot of people cheat and try to get coupons and just, get over it and get around it. Sorry, wrong. When you're doing God's work, you're going through. You're going through it. And God will walk you through it. He never abandons you. He never leaves you. Jesus never leaves you. Okay? He didn't abandon Jesus on the cross, and Jesus ain't going to abandon us while we walk through ours. Amen? And carry ours. So that's the reason. If there needed to be a reason, why does God allow this? God creates, and he speaks to us. He's the kind of parent that we need him to be. You've got kids. And to each kid, you're a little bit different because you have modified your parenting to what that child needs. I got a kid that will listen to me the moment I speak, and I got another kid I got to chase down and damn near spank and put in time. That's a harder parent that I have another child that requires that. You know what I mean? So my kids require me to be the type of parent that I am to them, and we require God to be the kind of parent that he is to us. And if he can only talk to us through pain and ouch, then that's our fault. Must we please evolve so we can speak a higher love language and we can be navigated in easier ways that don't hurt so bad. Right on? So it's not, another thing, that I know that God does is he makes beauty out of human pain. When humans come around and make a big old shit ass mess out of people, stuff, their lives, other people's lives, and time goes by and beauty's become of it, you get to take no credit in that. That work is between that person, their pain, and God. And that's because God came along and made beauty out of shit. If you need to, reference about a week ago when I talked about butterflies and poo. That's a great video. Should be an announcement in the top section of this page. Check it out. So again, God doesn't make the shit moments. That's the language we hear. Okay, that's the only language we can hear because we're dumbasses. So when God speaks that language to us, we don't get to turn around and go, but why are you doing this to me? Why don't you just talk to me? Well, if you would learn that I'm all around you and I'm just trying to speak to you and trying to get through to you through songs, billboard numbers, synchronicities, your neighbor, on the mouths of babes, on the mouths of Lainey, things that you run into, the things that you hear in a day, I'm speaking to you. The fact that you keep brushing it off of your shoulder as if it's nothing, well, then I'm going to have to come through and talk to you through the old pain. That's how you listen. And ironically, that's how our parents raised us when they were wanting us to do right or to follow a certain path in our lives. If we got off course, it caused us pain. We would get grounded. We would lose privileges and rights. I'm taking your car away. You can't see your friends. I'm taking your mobile phone. The list goes on. And those tactics have been used for a long time to keep people in the right course. By the way, caveat, don't let other people have guilt reigns over you to keep you in a rut that serves them and be thinking that that's where you need to be in life. Okay? Ride your own horse, okay? And real horses don't have reins, right? We're not to be controlled. Word! So I'm speaking for how God does wonderful work. Quit blaming, if there is any of us that are out there blaming God for, why do you allow these things to happen? Well, because he's got a beautiful plan afterwards, and you ain't going to move unless he talks to us this way. Thank God for the alchemy, the catalyst, the movement, the pain, the change, the great change, the disillusion that came. The kingdom may fall, so we thank God for those moments in despair that we're being spoke to in pain. We're using that pain as fuel. We're turning around and using it, what? As inspiration, as fuel to get our asses moving, to get our lives moving. And usually once we experience great pain, we go right to God. Isn't that funny? Didn't need him the whole damn time, but the moment we get painful, we go right to God. And he's learned this. You know, I guess this is how I'm going to have to talk to them. Pain equals they come to me. It's a weird way to learn love, but okay. So, and it's just really ironic that we still turn around and ask this question, like, why are you cause pain to me? You know, he has reasons, and he always has a way to have the Midas touch. He always turns whatever pain was in your life, whatever you deemed as shit, he turned it into power, and he turned it into a new foundation for you and turned your life completely into a 180. And now it's serving, your life is serving you better, not you serving you're not serving your life is serving you. Get it right. So there's great alchemy and great reason to the way that God does things. And he cannot stop human beings from being human beings. There's this whole free will thing. Wow, that's a pinnacle. God, he really gave us free will there. Excruciatingly to our own detriment, he gave us free will. Okay, we're going to end up hanging ourselves on our own free will. So we do have that. And because we have free will, we decide. We decide. We make our own medicine. Drink up, buttercup. So what human beings end up doing is we create a mess of shit, and then God has to come along and make beauty of that mess. And he always does. And even in the times where we make shit out of stuff, and it hurts, and we cause pain, the glory in that is that you're immediately going to find Christ immediately after that. Because pain in your life means go to the cloak. Too bad you didn't get there on a sunny day, and you know, too bad you got intimate with God only when you're hurting. That's kind of a crappy message to send to your dad, right? Do you ever call home only when you're hurting? You know, it's a living relationship that we have, so hopefully we treat our Holy Father a lot better than that. Anyway, my son is kind of like tapping on the door and getting my attention, so if I looked pulled away right there, that's why. I definitely wanted to make this, I had no idea where this was going. It was like cracking this huge rock that mankind's been kicking for ages. If I can't serve a God, I just can't get down with a God that allows the Holocaust or babies with cancer. I mock these people because I've heard it all my life. Well, God allowed his own son to die in his underwear in front of his mom. You know what I'm saying? So why aren't you surprised that God allows things to happen? And with our meek and mere trying to understand things, we'll never understand unless we walk a spiritual path, and then you get the understanding of what it's like to be Christ. You're going to walk the same life he did. You're going to walk a lot of the same footprints. And there is where we expand our understanding of what we're serving and what we're loving and what we're doing here on earth. And I think that when we question God at those intervals, like, why do you cause these things to happen? I think that comes from a very meek and low place of holy understanding. For those of you that have higher holy understanding, you understand that pain is necessary, yin yang is necessary, contrast is necessary. How do you know what you want when you don't know, you've never had it? And how do you know you've had it if you haven't had what you don't want? We need all this dark light, and that's what creates that awesome alchemy and awesome balance that Jesus Christ gives us an opportunity to choose to have. Free will. Choosing is action. And the light and the dark that you have gotten, the contrast that you've received, they're all classrooms. And now presenting you with choices that you can make. Actually, you can make real choices in your life based on love and understanding, not fear and misunderstandings, because those are completely two entirely diametrically opposed lives. So it's, important to have understanding of that. So let's stop throwing rocks at God's feet for all the bad shit that's happened in history or to us personally. There's a great plan to that. He has a Midas touch. He has alchemy. He knows what the hell he's doing. We have free will. We're going to be humans. He can't stop that, but he could sure make glory of that. And I think that's what the story's been saying for 2,000 years. And I know that that's what I say as a person who sits there and says, hey, I still pick my nose, masturbate, and smoke with my left hand and my right hand, but I'm still coming with a prophetic gift, an open pineal gland. I'm understanding of all this, and I'm a very Christ-conscious Christian. It's kind of all the same. It's all the same. The whole thing all wrapped together in a pretty little bow. Hopefully that message serves you well. And like I said, if you're enjoying the messages here on the porch, and if you're enjoying what we are becoming, the spiritual journey needs a church home, please do the honor of sharing the message in the porch with a friend of yours, with family of yours, and bring them on in. If they're spiritually awake, seeing those numbers, get in here, because this is your tribe. This is your family. Until next time, stay kind and stay out of your mind.